And so he's been away from mum for a little bit, and we had him in the enclosure with 3 of our girls, and one of those girls had a little Joey with them at the time. And we found that Harry, first he tried to like just climb on all of the koalas to keep being a baby and tried to make all of them carry him around, and none of them would let him. What was that noise? That scared ya? And then he started trying to steal the mum that had the baby. So what he'd try and do is kick the little baby off mum. And at that age, that little Joey just was always on mum. So at one stage we heard lots of crying. We ran into the exhibit. And we realised Harry tried to push the baby off. It ended up climbing onto him. And then he was panicking because he had this little baby attached to his back. And then we started finding that he'd wait for the girls to fall asleep. And then while they fast asleep, he used to corner them and start attacking them, and then they couldn't escape from him. So we did have to move him in on his own. So that's why he's on his own at the moment. But they're not a social animal. They are more of a solitary animal. So it's nothing bad for him. He just likes to, as I said, he likes to chew on everything, including our other koalas. And when we do feed them as well, we have their nice delicious food out there. It's a good chance to see them a little bit more awake and active. Because koalas are naturally a crepuscular animal, which means they do prefer to be awake at dusk and dawn. So if you've ever wondered why when you come to zoos and koalas are fast asleep and not doing anything, it's just because it's pretty much their nighttime in comparison to us, and they just don't like being awake at the times they're not meant to. Even if we feed them in the middle of the day, they'll be awake for 15 minutes, eat their fresh food, and then go back to sleep. And then they're still going to wake up at those natural hours, so there's not much that we can do. So with eucalyptus as well, I'm sure you guys have all heard, that's my finger, not the leaf. You've all heard the saying that koalas get high or stoned or whatever off eucalyptus. It's completely not true. That rumour will just spread around forever. It's never going to go away because everyone thinks it's hilarious. I just like when people come in and go, oh, he's so off his face, but he's not. So koalas don't get stoned or drunk or anything like that. With eucalyptus, to prove to you that there's nothing like that in eucalyptus, there's a very good reason why we don't eat eucalyptus. Most people don't go out and try and eat eucalyptus to, get high or anything. With koalas, they do sleep on average about 18 to 20 hours a day. The reason for that is just like most animals, they don't have much to do in the day. They don't have work to go to. They're not a social animal. Obviously, they just sort of wake up, they eat, their food is all around them. So they don't have to move around very much until their tree sort of starts, or the leaf doesn't have as much tip, which is the fresh part at the end. Is the only time they really have to move, especially for the females. They're not very territorial, so they'll happily live in a tree with other females. Although 20 hours a day might sound like a lot as well, our Sumatran tigers sleep for the same amount, so don't quite have the same excuse. And the food that we actually see Harry eat now, we're not going to see come out again probably until about 4-5 days' time. So it's a very long digestive system. So it might look like our koalas aren't doing anything, but their body is constantly working and constantly digesting that food. With Harry as well, so it's a little bit hard to sort of tell the girls and the boys apart. The most simple way to say it is the really cute ones are the girls and the less cute ones are the boys. Once the males get a lot larger, you'll find that they do have sort of longer pointed faces, where the girls have a lot more of a rounded face. Other than that, boys have boy parts, but if you don't get to see those, they do have a scent gland on their chest. I'll try and show you Harry's, if you guys can see that little brown spot on his chest. And that's going to get larger. This is obviously only a little because he is young. That scent gland will start to get larger, so the way that they actually mark their territory is just rubbing that scent gland on the tree. And it smells, so all of our koalas do have a eucalyptus smell to them. Boys do smell like eucalyptus mixed with sweaty armpits, so they don't smell very nice at all. But luckily for us, Harry doesn't have that smell yet because he's only quite young. You are giving me a dead arm, though. This is really uncomfortable.